Okay, I think this should be work. Finally, it's working. Finally. All right, let's start off with the intro video, man.
Chilloutrecords.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. First of all, I want to just thank all the new subscribers that I've just gotten. 329 subs. I really do appreciate it, guys. It really means a lot to me. And for those of you that have been just watching me and not hitting that subscribe button or the like button, where are the whips? Where are the whips? Let me get that sound, man. Today, I am just running late on everything. And, you know, some of you people just think that it's just a matter of clicking a few buttons and pressing the camera icon and you're all ready to go, man. It's not as simple as that, man. First of all, let's get the kids out of here.
Homework, tafadhali.
All right, so the kids are out of here, and then we just give those people that haven't subscribed some whips. All right, so today's topic, man, I'm not even going to waste a lot of time because this story is freaking crazy. I was just completely shocked when I heard it. Okay, so let me first move a couple of screens here so that I don't show you guys things that you're not supposed to be seeing here. Okay, one second. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. All right, so I've got everything now sorted out. Hopefully, it should all work. Okay, so I got the stream here. Now, let's get... I don't know if I should share my screen. Let me see if I should share my screen. Let's see. Because I want you guys to see this. Let's see. Where is the screen share? Today, I am just way behind schedule. All right, let's see if this is fitting in here. So we can watch this. We can listen to this together because, man, this story is crazy. I'm going to speed it up and obviously I'm going to speed it up a little bit and skip all the intros. Obviously, we don't want to listen to all of that. So let's play this a little bit faster.
I'll bring your laptop back in 3 hours max. It's like, cool, okay, but my laptop is very old. What does not work and all that. So
obviously,
like, okay,
now, if you can't hear the audio, just let me know. But if you can, then let me carry on with this. I'm just making sure that the audio is loud enough.
So Bumpy was there when I was asking for a laptop.
And it was lovely to meet you. So I'd like you to, take your time as you're taking us through this narration. If at any time you need to take a break, we can.
Yeah, at any time I need to intervene and just, pause and just give my commentary, I will be doing that because obviously copyright and all that kind of stuff. But man, this story is just interesting. Very, very interesting.
And take a break. And I'm going to start this episode with the same question that I ask all my guests. Take us to the beginning. How did you and Bumpy meet?
Bumpy and I...
So this is a story between Sophia and Bumpy. Okay, so Sophia is going to be telling us the story. So this is the story from Sophia's side. So let's hear this.
Coincidentally met at a smocha stand. I was very new to the area where we met. So at the time, I was a waitress. So I was very new. It was the first time we moved there. It was my first time having a shift that I needed to clock in at.
So a smocha is like it's like a small kiosk where you can go and buy your small snacks on the side of the road. It's Kenya, man.
Night. So I was able to explore the area during the day. And this specific stand where we met, I'd go by my smochas there a lot of times. I'd see him on and off. But since I was always so tired, I'd just buy what I'm buying, talking to the guy who sells my smochas, and then go back home.
What's a smocha? Is it a smoky? I'm a bit confused.
A smocha is a combination of a chapati and a smoky. It's put together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this one specific day, as I was a waitress, I was also still a student. So this one time I needed to write assignment for school. My laptop crashed. So the only person I knew in the area at that time was the smoocher selling guy. So I go to him and I'm like, I need a laptop. I need to write reports and I'll bring your laptop back in 3 hours max. He's like, cool, but my laptop is very old. Word does not work and all that. So I was like, okay, that can't help. So Bumpy he was there when I was asking for a laptop. So when my smoocher guy said he doesn't have, I was just like, let me figure it out. So I started walking away. Bumpy followed me, tapped my shoulder. He's like, I've seen you around. I can help you with the laptop. I was like, perfect. I promise I'll get it back in 3 hours, tops. He's like, sure. He walks me to my gate. He's like, let me walk you to your gate, see where you stay, and then I can go home, grab my laptop, and then bring it back. So let me get your number. So instead of just knocking the gate, I just call you and then you can come out. I was like,
Wait, hang on a second. Let me just message someone. Someone was supposed to freaking join me here because they were like really interested in watching this. I don't know if they are here. Let me just double check this 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Let me see. Again, if the audio or something isn't playing well, just let me know, guys. Let me know. Okay. You have to freaking put a comment in the freaking channel on the live chat so I know that because I can't see if someone has joined or not. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. Let's carry on now. Fine, good. Now I've confirmed that the person that I was actually waiting for is here. Freaking hell, man. Put a freaking comment on the live chat so I know you're I know you're watching. Okay. So far, you've not missed much. Basically, she was just looking for a laptop, and this guy, Bumpy, came in, swooped in, and said, "I will give you the laptop. Don't worry." All right, so that's where we are so far.
like, sure. That's what happened. He gave me the laptop. He's like, this laptop, I don't even use it. It just stays in the house. So what you'll do is just use it until you're able to fix your own laptop. And I was like, sure. He would text. But since our schedules were very different, me being a waitress and a student, and him being someone who works at 8 to 5, the dynamics of communication aren't working, like, probably to his favor. So on days I'm off shift or on offs is when we'd communicate, which was okay because I was not really interested in him. And then on meeting him, I was pregnant. And I was very young. I was 20.
She's 20 and she's pregnant, so you already know things are not going as expected. Obviously, she's not married. She just, the thing that really pisses me off. And thank you for joining, Miriam. I mean, this story is just gonna get freaking wild. The thing that pisses me off the most is the highest honor a woman can give a man is have a child, and this guy hasn't even married her. He hasn't even put a ring on that, and she's already there like, yeah, here you go. Let me give you a baby. All right, anyway. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. And she's not even talking about the guy that she's with that gave her a kid. She's talking about this Bumpy dude. Who the hell is this?
So I explained to him on one day, I think 3 weeks later, we've spoken. I now told him I need to bring your laptop back. I'll fix my laptop, so I'm good. Thank you. So we meet after work. I was off. He's off work. So he comes in a suit, fully dressed. He looked so nice. I was so...
I think at that point, I think something clicked and she was like, damn, this guy looks amazing, huh? I think, it's all about the looks. It's all about the looks. Like, if you look good, you can get away with anything these days. Anyway.
So impressed. I was just like, wow, he looks very nice. And then my mind just clicked. You think he looks nice and you're pregnant. And then at the time I was pregnant, the person who impregnated me didn't want the pregnancy. So I was just with it, like, it's me and this pregnancy.
Man, I'm sorry, I have to cut it off there for a second. The guy who you were with didn't want to have a kid. So why didn't you use protection? Like, I don't understand. Like, where's the you know what? I have like so many questions already just from the beginning of this. But anyway, let's just go on. You see how many like bad decisions she's already made. But you know what? I'm not gonna blame her. Let's just listen to the full thing, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I listened to like the first maybe 10-15 minutes of this thing, and I was like, man, I need to watch this live with you guys because I need your opinions on these things. All right, so let's carry on.
So my mind is just like snapped back into reality. So I looked at him, I was like, okay, you look nice, but thank you. We talked, we stood outside the gates, we talked for like 20 minutes. Then I went back to the house. So at this time, I'm staying with my mom, of course. My mom was a bit bitter, of course.
Where's your dad? Where are the whips? Where are the whips, man? Where are the whips for that weak dad, man? That weak dad that wasn't there in your life. Let's give him some whips first. That piece of shit. That dude should have been there, and all of this wouldn't have been a story. But anyway, weak ass dad, man. Weak ass dad. Weak men create more problems, basically. So if the dad was in the picture, yeah. Anyway, well, listen, we don't judge. No, we're judging here. This is the judging channel.
Because I'm 20, I'm pregnant, I'm juggling waitressing and school. So she wasn't happy that she'd see me, of course, talking to another man. Because
she's doing waitressing, school, and she's pregnant. God damn. You've already got all these problems in your life already. And then you invite a guy into your life.
in her head, as an African mom, she's just thinking, hey, you've not even finished the first one, now you're into another one, surely. So I got home on this specific day and my mom is furious. She's like, why are you talking to men? And I'm like, chill. It's just I was returning the laptop that was helping me doing my assignments as I fixed mine. She's like, okay. But we still continued talking with Bumpy. So we kept tabs here, there, which was okay. I didn't mind it. It would be memes, nothing that would make me like keep quiet or ghost him. So we'd exchange memes.
We had exchanged memes. You see, that's how it starts, man. Guy is just sending you some memes. You're just giggling. Next thing you know, your panties are down there. Boom.
Laugh, we'd share reels, and always on WhatsApp. I remember him having a car. So this one time, I wanted to go to the clinic because I was pregnant. So it's my first time going to the clinic. I was nervous. And Bumpy had told me that he had a daughter. So before telling...
Okay. Okay. It's okay. It's fine.
him I was pregnant, he had already told me I have a daughter. She's the apple of my eye. She's the reason I leave.
Why is she even calling the new guy Bumpy and he's not the baby daddy? But I think that's just his name. Okay, maybe he has a different name, but maybe they're using fake names to conceal the identities of the real people. So we don't know. But that's his name and that's her name. So
breathe and all that, and I was like, that's nice. So on this day I wanted to go to the clinic. Bumpy was the first person I thought to call because he had a child. So I was just like, he's gone through
every time she says Bumpy, I just keep thinking like a bumpy dick.
with this, so it would be easy for him to understand me, which he did. He didn't even ask a question. He immediately just asked, what time do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And I was explaining, I just want to go for a checkup, and that's it. This day was specifically my off day, but I had classes. So I went for my classes, and then we met. He picked me up in his car comfortably, and we went to the hospital. I paid for my checkup and everything, and he was okay with it. I checked how far along I was. The doctors asked me what I would want, because considering my age, they knew, of course, it would be a struggle. So it was either I keep it or get rid of it. I told the doctors I haven't decided. So the doctors were like, you have like just 1 more month until you decide, because after a month, you just have to keep the baby. I was like...
Were you visibly pregnant at that point? Not yet?
Not yet.
How far along?
At the time when I went for clinic, I was about 2.5 months in. Yeah. So it was not even visible at all. Yeah. And Bumpy was with me in every room that I went in. He'd hold my hand. He'd like tell me, you know what, it's going to be okay. Whatever you decide, nobody's judging you, and you'll be fine. I'll walk with you through this. I've experienced this, so I know firsthand what you're feeling. I felt very comforted, very comforted. At the time,
Miriam, he was okay with it because he was chasing. Yeah, he was chasing. You know the thing that pisses me off is this whole thing of let's not judge, and it's back in the days, what was marriage? Marriage was bringing two families together, bringing two people together to combine like assets and business and flourish from there. Like marriage is dead, man. It's not the way it used to be like back in the days, man. But anyway, here we're living in a society where we don't have accountability. We don't want to judge people. We don't want to shame people for the bad behaviors and bad things that they're doing in life. So then these are the outcomes you get. But anyway, let's listen.
All my instincts were to get rid of it. I was 20. If anything happened, I wouldn't be able to raise this child on my own. I wouldn't. Even if I tried how hard at that time, I wouldn't.
No shit.
So after a while, I decided to.
Yeah, single mom. The husband, the guy, not even husband, the guy doesn't even want to be with you. Clearly told you he doesn't want to have the kid. Then why would you want to raise this on your own?
Get a procedure done, and I terminated the pregnancy. It was the appropriate thing to do at that time. So that's what I did.
Yeah, and you're 20. My God. You know how naive and stupid I was when I was 20? Anyway.
All through, Bumpy was with me. During the day that I went, the days after, even after work, he'd try and pop by at the gate just to say hi, see me. And for some reason, he'd always bring me fruits. So I'd go to the gate, see Bumpy. Then when I go back to the house, my mom would always ask me, where have you gotten the fruits from? And I'm like, I just outside here, I met somebody, like a friend of mine. She has given me the fruits. And every time I had to ensure that my mom knew it was a girl, because if she found out it was a guy, she would be very uneasy. So that's how I
Yeah, because your mom knew the right thing to do.
And
but anyway.
after the whole termination, we got very, very close. Because he'd talk to me about work, my waitressing job. He'd talk to me about school. He'd help me with assignments. And then at the same time, when we were just very new together with Bumpy, I started doing. So at that point, I was being trained. It was going good.
Wait, what? Hang on. This was blurred out? Okay, but it's fine. I think the version I was listening to didn't have all the bleeps, but I think she was obviously saying that, the old in and out with the guy, obviously. So they was already doing that. And Miriam, you're saying he would even bring heaven to you at that point. Yeah, I mean, she's 20 years old. I don't know if she's revealed the guy's age yet. Okay, let's listen.
Now, it was a load added on to the waitressing I have in school. So Bumpy would come in very handy when I've done training and I was told to write reports. He'd handle it. Like, I'd just dictate what he'd write and he'd type it and I'd be done, which for me was amazing. So my mom found out that me and Bumpy are close. My mom was against it. She's like, no, you're just going through one thing. Get time. Just be in your 20s. Learn about what you are in your 20s, what you want to be, the things, make money, go out, the likes. That's what she was all about. So she was very not happy about the idea of me and Bumpy being close. Then at that time, my mom would look at Bumpy and she'd be like, he also looks very old. Yeah? Sophia, he looks very, very old. So ensure that whatever is going on is something that you're sure you're ready for. At that time, I'm not even sure about anything. I'm just enjoying this person because they'll write my reports. They're there when I want them to be. So it was okay on my end. So with time, we eventually started dating a month or two later after. And it started very nicely, very, very nicely. He had a car, so we'd go out for rides. And since I loved car rides, I liked...
What kind of rides are you going?
That's what we'd do. We'd buy takeout, pizza, chicken, and then in the car, a ride. And that would be an ideal date for me. And it worked very well. He'd tell me about the struggles he's having with his baby mama, how he misses his daughter because he wasn't able to see the daughter often. So I'd sympathize with him and be like a shoulder to lean on. Then eventually, we started being intimate. So being intimate with him meant on days that I was from work, I'd have to lie to my mom. So I'd call my mom and I'm like, Mom, I can't get a matatu back home. I'll just spend the night at my friend's place. And my mom trusted me. She's like, okay, that's fine.
The old hyenas know how to chase. They don't rush. Yeah. I mean, she still hasn't revealed his age, but I think later on she does. But even the mom was like, he looks pretty old, and she's just 20 years old, and obviously he's like, this is someone who doesn't know what she wants in life. Let me attack her. She's at her most vulnerable. Let me just sink my hooks into this one here.
No problem. The whole time, that just meant that in the morning I've packed an extra cloth, folded it very well to fit in my bag so that my mom does not notice my bag is larger than usual. Spend at his place, do our stuff, enjoy the night, watch a movie, eat and all. And then in the morning he'd drop me off at work or at school, depending on what was needed. And that worked very well. So 3-4 months into the relationship, issues with the baby mama from his end started rising and rising fast and heavy. We moved from being in our honeymoon to the baby mama texting me in a span of very short time. At that time, she'd text me with entitlement.
No, but the question is, like, he's already got a kid with someone else. Why can't he just be with her? Like, I don't understand. What is this guy doing, honestly? What is he doing chasing a 20-year-old? Honeymoon finished. Game over, man. Game over. Yeah. Because, he probably at that point, like, I mean, in 3 to 4 months, you've probably done all the crazy things you wanted to do with this 20-year-old. Now you're like, all right, what else can we do now?
For lack of a better word, because she knew she was a baby mama and she knew that this man had vowed to marry her. So in her eyes, I was like this bug that is coming to destroy.
Man, baby mama drama is the worst. Is the worst baggage to ever have, man. I can't deal with that, man. I really cannot deal with baby daddy, baby mama stuff. When I'm getting into a relationship, I want to start with a clean slate, man. We're both clean slate, man. Just freaking don't bring baggage here, man. If I'm in a good position in my life, why would I introduce someone that has problems and baggage and shit? What the freaking hell, man?
Their nice relationship, their nice parenthood that they're doing together. And every time I take the story back to Bumpy, it would be, no, she's dramatic. She already knows that nothing can happen and the likes. Me being my first time in such a dynamic, I was just like, you know what, it's okay. I'd take his word because he's the one who's here with me and I get to see him every day. So I trusted his word and took it blindly. So even if she'd text me, I'd have no problem because she's texting me and maybe I've spent the night in his house and she's texting me, I spent the night at his house yesterday and I'm like, I was with him during the day. So I was just like, you know what, it's okay. So we had that baby mama issue going for a while, for about 2 months or 3. And then one specific day, it became, I need time. And I'm like, you just can't come to me and ask me for time. What's the time for? It's like there are issues between me and my baby mama. And now she's saying that I'll not be able to see my child. And I asked why. What is it you did? Because she wouldn't just wake up and say that you're not going to see the child. There has to be like a backstory. There has to be something. She's like, no, it's because of you. I'm like, okay, what about me has made your baby mama not allow you to see your child? He goes like, you spend the nights over, you leave your clothes, I don't hide your clothes and they come off, drop the baby. And I'm like, who's we? Who's dropping the child? Like, at times she comes, drops the child and cooks. And I'm like, cooks in your house? Yeah. Like, okay. But initially you told me always go out to get your child from their house. What changed?
Imagine she's experiencing baby mama drama and she's just 20. I would run, my friend. I wouldn't even look back. Yeah. Even at that point when she was just introduced to this dude and this guy said, oh, I have a daughter, but we're not together. And you're 20 years old. Why the freaking hell? Like, a woman at 20, you can get any guy. Like, you're at your prime. At that point, like, all the guys want to be with you. And then you pick a guy that has a kid and all this freaking baggage and problems, man. The only conclusion I could come to, Miriam, was this guy must be really good looking. I'm telling you, if you're good looking, you can get away with it. And that was the only thing I can think of. Like, this guy, and she even says it in one of, if you scroll back, you see, like, she said that he visited her in a suit and she was like, damn, he looks good, So I think that's the only thing I can think of. Like, because I don't think an average guy can get away with with behaving the way this guy behaves, man.
He goes like, no, there are times I'm busy, so she'll just drop my daughter over before I get home, and I'll find she has cooked. Then he'd say she's cooked because, of course, that food will also be eaten by the daughter, and she knows I won't have time when I get home. And if you listen to it, you're like, that's like logic sense. So I'm like, okay, now no harm done.
So she's at home with her mom. The guy is telling her the baby mama is at home and she's cooking meals and stuff, and it's perfectly okay. Like, why would you even entertain this?
Thinking about it, I'm like, he's not home. She came. She dropped the daughter cooked while he was not home. So nothing could have happened. That was fine. After a while, it got to a point that I would not see him on weekends at all. Why? Because it was time with his daughter. I understood it. I was like, you know what, that's fine. So what got my attention and became a fight was the fact that as much as I could not see him, it means I could not see him, text him or call him. Why? Because he was spending time with the daughter. And I'm like, so while you're doing this, you're not with your phone, or what's going on? Why can't you be texted or called? What's the reason? He's like, no, I don't like using my phone when my daughter is around because she might think I'm not giving her quality time and attention. I was like, okay, that's fine. So during the weekends, I'd do my own stuff.
Can you just understand that dynamic? All of a sudden, it's just changed. The first 3 months, they were doing it like daily. She was spending the time over at, like he had all the time for her. Now he's done everything he wanted to do with her. And now she's moved back to the mom's house. And now he's just ignoring her and telling her, oh, I need to spend time with my kid. So you need to understand. And now all of a sudden, he's just silent. He's not even responding to her texts. She should have just moved on at that point. But damn, man.
I'd just engage myself in my assignments, take more shifts at work just to cover up the time. That became our routine, and I was okay with that. Then eventually it now became, I couldn't now go to his house. I'm like, why?
The old hyena got what he wanted. He was no more interested. Oh, where do I have a meme for this? Let me see, man. Let me see. Let me see another one here. Yeah, he got what he wanted, man. He's moving on now.
It's like, no, my daughter is going to school and coming back, and she'll be in my house for a while. I'm like, but you said the mom does not allow the daughter to spend more than a weekend in your house. What happened? It's like, no, the dynamics changed. She's gotten busy. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I understood. So with time, the evenings were out.
Miriam, man, calm down, Miriam, calm down. Now she's not even being invited into the house. Oh man, fuck. Oh man. We're not even halfway through the story.
I wouldn't spend at his house. So instead what he'd do, he'd come see me. Back kwa gate.
Oh man, just relax, yo. Miriam, just relax, okay? Just calm down.
So he'd come, call, say like, I'm outside here. So he'd sit somewhere on a stone, chat for hours and hours, and then he'd go back home.
You hearing this shit? Now he comes and visits her. They both sit on a stone outside their house. They chat for hours and he goes back. Oh man, you can't make this shit up, man. And we're here laughing at other people. You know what? Screw it, man. When you're 20.
And I'd always ask, okay, since your daughter is home, who helps her with homework? Who gets her ready, like unwinds her from the day and all? Was she able to do that? She's like, yeah, she's...
Oh, by the way, Miriam, if this is too fast, like the audio, because I kind of sped it up a little bit because it's a 1 hour story. So I kind of sped it up so that they can talk a little bit faster. If it's too fast, just let me know.
Old enough, she can do that. Then when I come, I'll just cook something light and then call it a night. I was like, that works. And then eventually it moved to, he wouldn't be answering my calls as he used to. So in a day, I'd call like 3-4 times.
Wait. So first, she wasn't. So first, they they cut her out. He cut her out of the house now, so she can't even come and visit because he's spending time with a daughter, and now he doesn't even pick the calls anymore.
No answer at call. When I'm free, no answer. And then at journey, after work, it's like, oh, I've been swamped with meetings. I've been moving around with my boss and the like, so I didn't have time on my phone. And I'm like, oh, so you didn't have like 2 minutes out of your day just to text me and tell me that it's a busy day? Because that's what you've been doing. So why they changed from the foundation we created on communication? It's like, no, I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Like for guys, I'm even kind of guilty for this, man. You know, in the beginning when the chase is hot, you will be texting daily, and then after some time, when that fire has fizzled out and you've gotten what you've wanted, then it's just like you just go back to being the way you're naturally supposed to be. If you don't communicate that from the beginning of the relationship, like, this is how I am, like, I'm just busy, man. I'm a busy guy. You need to understand that from the beginning.
Yeah, that was a lie. It did, in fact, happen and became a routine. The point where now, if I called way too many times, he'd block me. So he'll be like, you're really distracting me.
Oh. He'd even block her. I think now I'm 100% guaranteed this guy must be looking like 10 out of 10. Like on a score, yeah, if I was gay, I would have like even been like, damn, I want to be with this guy. I'm pretty sure 100% this guy must be like really good looking. Because an average guy can't get away with this shit. Nah, there's no freaking way. Like if you're really good looking, you can block her, you can talk shit to her and she'll still be like, I want to be with you. And especially when you're 20 and you don't have brain cells there.
From work, you're calling me too many times and I need to concentrate and focus on work. And I'm like, how would I know you're having a busy day? You've not told me. You're not communicating to me. Day 1 has gone, day 2.
What are you saying, Miriam? The fire should not fizzle. 5 seconds of your time is enough to let someone know you're not going to be available for the day. Yeah, that's true. That's very true, man. It doesn't take that long. Like, technology is there. We can text someone immediately and just let them know. It just takes a couple of seconds to text someone. The thing is, I think it's about consistency. Like, if you do it repeatedly, and it wasn't like that before, then there's a problem there. But if it's just once, come on. Poof. So I missed most of this. Man, where the freaking whips for this? Sab, where the whips for Sab? Get the freaking hell. What the hell, man? Who told you to I sent you the link like 10 hours ago, and then you're oh, I almost missed. I'm just joking. You have not missed much. Basically, you can just scroll back and listen to it. I'm not going to repeat. We're moving on.
Is when you're talking to me during the day and it's a phone call that will last like 10 minutes and you expect me to just be okay with that. So we started having fights. And in the fights, the baby mama also started having fights with me.
Okay, fine. I sent you the link a bit late. I got a bit late. Just give me a break, man. It's a Saturday. What do you want from me, man? Huh? What do you want from me? Where the whips? I'll give you some more whips because I can. It's my channel.
Are you crazy?
All right. Okay, back to the story, man. This story is juicy. Whoo! This story is so juicy.
And then at this time, I'm young, and the baby mama is not also of my age. We also have a gap. So I'm like, hata nikiongea vibaya, nothing will happen. You see.
So how old was he? Because you said you were around 20?
I was around 20. He was around 31. So I wasn't bothered.
That's an 11-year gap. Okay. But it's okay. But 31, let me not say anything.
Talk back with the baby mama, especially because she also would come talking very bad, and I'll be like, you know what? Let's play this game. So she talks, I talk. She talks, I talk. That's how it went. So I'm fighting with the baby mama. I'm also fighting with Bumpy. And in my head, I'm just like, you know what? This guy seemed like a very nice guy, someone who understood me, helped out with work. He made my load of life easy. It's not working out because I can't continuously be begging just to be communicated to and the likes. So with time, I had Bumpy, and I still were entertaining other people. But my mind was solely focused, and I was always crossing my fingers just for Bumpy to realize that this is what he wanted. So from that specific point, I started continuously begging and begging. So I begged to be communicated to.
Oh man, come on. Why? Why are you begging? Begging. You find yourself begging in a relationship. What the fuck are you doing in that? Okay. Okay.
I begged for him to come see me. I begged him to talk to the baby mama to stop talking to me rudely. But nothing happened. Actually, in fact, instead of him talking to the baby mama to stop talking rudely to me, he'd summoned me for talking to the baby mama rudely. And I'm like, wow, didn't she tell you what she said? And I was replying to this. And she's like, it doesn't matter. That's the mother of my child. And I'm like, wow. So are you with the mother of your child because you're way too defensive? Or do you want to move on and be with me? He's like, I am with you. I am dating you. I'm not seeing anybody else. And I'm like, the last time I checked, people who are dating actually communicate visually. Like, your communication is whack. It literally feels like I'm begging you to communicate with me, which is not what I want, which is not what we were. So, no.
Another reason for you to just move on and be with another guy?
And he's like, you know what? That's fine. And he started, it feels like you can't take leadership from a man. And I was like, okay, so I can't take leadership because I'm telling you of the tone we set for this relationship and you are going against the tone. So now I'm telling you about it and now it becomes I'm the one who cannot take leadership from a man. And it was okay. And we broke up for, I think, a month. Then, because we lived in the same area, we bumped into each other, of course.
No, poof. Wait, is this a married man with a baby? This isn't even a married dude. Like, he just has a woman that he has a child with. He's not even married to her. Okay, well, we don't know. She hasn't even mentioned it in the story. He could be no, but I don't think he's married. He's just dating her, and he has a kid with her. And she had a kid. She got an abortion, and now she's with this dude. Man, it's just a whole. Okay, let's see. What else, Miriam? What are you saying? So they were both fighting her. The dude wouldn't even stand up for her, exactly, after she was abused by the baby mama. Yeah, exactly. Because he's dating her now. He's dating Sophia. He should be standing up for her. Like, the baby mama, if he doesn't want to be with her, like, as long as he's providing for the kid, that's okay. Then he can just move on and now be with her. If that's what he wants to say. That's what he said from the beginning, that he wants to be with her. So why is the baby mama now coming into the picture and telling them, both of them, what to do? Yeah, come we stay and make babies. He has a different baby mama and is dating a different woman. Man, come on. Keep up.
So at this time, we've bumped into each other. I've stopped waitressing. I'm now finished training. And now...
Okay, now she said that she's broken up with him. So thank goodness she's moved on. At this point, we should just like congratulate her and be like, we should be like super happy. Like, yes, she's now done the right thing. They've both broken up. And Sophia and Bumpy are no longer together. Okay. Now let's see what she says now.
I'm working and then I'm still schooling now. So
and she's working and she's schooling.
Didn't know any of it. So when we bumped into each other at home, he asked me, how is waitressing? How is the training? And I'm like, I stopped waitressing. I finished training as well. And now I'm an assistant and I'm schooling. He's like, oh, nice, congratulations. And he's like, actually, I was about to call you. I was like, why? He's like, no, I'm sorry about what I said earlier. And I realized that I was the one who was wrong. And I'm like, okay, that's good. And then I asked, what do you want?
Oh, now he's wrong, huh? After that cool off period, after after the accumulation of things in the lower nether regions for a guy, that's when he starts, getting like, oh, let me just go back and apologize and say, oh, I'm sorry, and yeah, I need to go and make things right.
You're about to call me. Is that what you wanted to say? He's like, no, I had more, but I want you to come home as I cook for you dinner, and then we can talk more. And I'm like, no, it's late. One, you're telling me about this late, so I need to go home. My mom is home. My mom is waiting. If this is what you wanted, I'm sure you'd have communicated a bit earlier. And that was that. We got back together. Things were looking good until one day I decided to check.
She got back together. Hey.
His phone.
Wait, Wait. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Is that what you wanted to say? It's like, no, I had more, but I want you to come home as I cook for you dinner, and then we can talk more. And I'm like, no, it's late. One, you're telling me about this late, so I need to go home. My mom is home. My mom is waiting. If this is what you wanted, I'm sure you'd have communicated a bit earlier. That was that. We got back together. Things were looking good until one day I decided to check his phone.
Let's pause there for a second. You decided to look through his phone. You already know this guy is a fuck up, and then you decided you're like, you know what? He's not hurting me enough. Let me go through his phone. Where the whips? Where the whips for this chick? Where the whips? It's like he's not tortured you enough, but you want to be like, let me just give myself more misery and pain. Let me go through his phone. Okay, let's hear what she says. Let's see what she finds.
I checked his phone and I saw way too many things. I saw way too many bodies that I was not supposed to see. I saw way too many conversations I was not supposed to see. And I did not know it was capable for a man to talk to that many women at a time.
You see, my theory was right. He's talking to so many women. He must be good looking. I rest my case. It's done. This guy must be like a 10 out of 10. Like, this guy must be the whole Brad Pitt. You guys heard the Brad Pitt story, the whole scandal with the Brad Pitt, AI generated Brad Pitt. It's the same thing here. This guy actually looks really good. Because I can't, like, that's the only thing I can think of. He must be like freaking stunning with like a 6-pack. And he probably, but I don't know, man. The mom was saying that he looks old. But maybe old can be, I don't know. Okay. What are you saying? Sophia, men are capable of talking to 100 women in 10 seconds. But the thing is, it's just in guys' nature to just keep shooting their shot. Because men are normally used to rejection, and so they just move on to the next one. Okay, this one has rejected me. Let's move on. Let's go. Like, let's cast a wide net, and then we'll see which fish gets trapped in that net. But it's a good strategy. I mean, it works. But the thing is, he's already got her. So what is he casting his net for? But okay, let's just hear what she has to say.
We could not fathom it. He was talking to the pipi mama and other women. And other women who he told me were workmates, which, yes, some of them were.
Yeah, he was already with Sophia again. So what the hell is he talking like? Wait, what do you say? I feel like you guys already know the juicy parts. I need to watch this from the beginning. From the beginning. With the whips. Yes, go watch it from the beginning. No, sorry, that's the wrong voice note. But no, it's okay. It's not that bad off. Miriam nowadays is both men and women. It's both men and women, to be honest. Ooh. Okay. Let's carry on. It's not that much. They've been dating for some time. They've done all the crazy things. Baby mama drama. They broke up. Now they're back together and she's checked out the phone. That's it. You're up to date.
Them were his trainees. It made no sense. But on asking him, he said that was him looking for his next person, since he thought that we would not work out or we would not rekindle what we had. And I was like, okay, since we have, I want them deleted. And I stood there. I want you to delete every picture, every contact, and every conversation. I want you to start afresh from a clean slate. And he's like, sure. He deleted everything, and I saw him delete them. But 2 weeks later, all those conversations were back from where they left off. And he just told these people that he was called in for work to travel. And it was busy, and now he's back, and they can't pick it off. And they
yeah, there's backup, bro. Exactly, yeah. Conversations can always be recovered and restarted from. And when you delete a conversation on your phone, it's not like it's deleting on the other person's phone. You can just pick up from where you left off. They wouldn't even know that your conversations were deleted.
all did very well. No questions asked, no nothing. At that point, things at home with my mom were also very rocky and shaky, and my job was doing well. So what I decided to do is I decided to move. So on this day that I decided to move was not because things were rocky at home. Okay, it was part of the reasons, but the main reason was one day my mom woke up and decided to go to Bumpy's house on her own. In Bumpy's house, my mom met Bumpy's mother as well. So a few weeks prior to that, I was unwell and I was in hospital. But Bumpy had said that he...
Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. That moved pretty quickly. Why would the mom go and visit? Anyway, okay, let's hear.
was somewhere working and he could not get to me in time. So I understood, but my mom did not understand because she was like, you're dating somebody who you've told you in hospital and they could not drop work to come over. It makes no sense. So to her, it was like a red flag. But to me, I was understanding.
Yeah, but we've already seen so many freaking red flags and you're still with the same guy. And, oh man. Okay.
So on this specific day, the thing that prompted my mom to go to Bumpy's house was the fact that I was out of hospital. I was due for exams, so I needed to go get a student card that would allow me to enter and go back to do my exams. I was still not 100, but I had to do it on that day because that was the deadline. So I went, and I had told Bumpy about it and asked Bumpy, would you take me on your way to work? He's like, sure. So on that day, we've left the house with my mom, walking towards the stage. My mom sees me as I enter Bumpy's car. Remember, Bumpy did not see me in hospital, but suddenly I'm out of hospital and he's shown up. He's suddenly reliable.
He's not... He's not there for the tough times, but he's there for the good times. Man, like how many more red flags? Like, how many more red flags do you need in order for you to fucking dump this dude? I don't understand. What? We're not even like halfway through the story. She's thrown so many red flags into the conversation. What the fuck is going on? I don't understand. Am I the only one who's going mental or what?
Bullet.
In health and not in sickness.
Available. My mom could not fathom. So I've gone. I needed to be back at the house at 1 because I needed to take my medicine. So I went, was back at 1. By the time I'm back, I am calling Bumpy to explain to him how excited I am because I've gotten the card. I've also gone to school. I've confirmed everything. He's not picking up. He knows how excited I was in the morning when we were going. So it wasn't making sense. Why would he not answer my call? Mm-hmm. That day comes and I'm back home at 1. At 2, the baby mama is on my case, sending me a paragraph. Oh, this man says the way you're trash. He's giving you breadcrumbs and
You're already angry on behalf of Sophia. Man, I don't know if I should be angry or sad or, it's just like, sometimes you need to go through some tough shit because, sometimes someone can give you advice, but you're just hard-headed and you want to follow your heart and just do what you feel is right. But then life comes and kicks you in the butt, and maybe that experience is what will wake you up and just be like, okay, you know what? It had to happen so that I could wake up.
Accepting it, she goes on, and she insults me. You are a hoe. And then at that time, I was very, very, very petite. I was literally underweight. So the baby mama is like, you need to go to the gym, work out, focus on getting a body, getting an ass that people can turn and look at. You're here focusing on men that we have built, we have given children to, and you're here thinking that they can't be your man. And I was like, wow, okay. So I'm calling Bumpy endlessly because of what the baby mama has told me. Bumpy did not answer a single call, a single text, a single voice, nothing. In the evening, I'm like, you know what, I'll walk to Bumpy's house. I know by now he's in the house. I go and I knock the door. The mom sees me and goes hysterical.
Did he live with his mother?
They lived in the same compound. From how loud she's talking, and considering she's a very soft-spoken woman, Bumpy came out. Bumpy sees me. Bumpy's like, get out. And I'm like, why? What did I do that was wrong? Like, your mother was here insulting my mother, and you have the guts to show up. And I'm like, when? I just left with you in the morning. I was home at 1. I've been calling you since then. When did she have the time to come here? The mom is like, maybe she doesn't know. And I'm like, I look clueless. Of course I don't. If I did, I don't think I'd be here with all these balls. The mom calms down enough to tell me, your mom was here. She came, spoke to me very rudely, insulted me and all. I And I was like, what? She's like, yes. And Mama Bumpy is like, your mom is very disrespectful, and I also expect the same from you. And I'm like, why would you expect me to be disrespectful? Because my mom was. It's like, because you're raised by a single mom, those cycles just go hand in hand. And I'm like, okay. And Bumpy is just standing, listening to what the mom is telling me. He doesn't step in, he doesn't stop the mom, he does nothing. The mom spoke to me, and then she went back to the house. Bumpy's like, you need to go. And I'm like, no, I'm not leaving until you explain to me in detail what happened. Because you guys are telling me this story like surface level. I want to understand. And Bumpy tells me, I also don't know. I got home a few minutes ago. I was at home finishing up with our call, and then I wanted to go back to my mom's house and check. And like be told and be given details. And I'm like, okay, so at this point, I've moved. I've moved out from my mom's house, and I live in a nice, beautiful bedsitter that I loved. I had very, very few things, which was okay. At this time, I had given Bumpy money to buy me a laptop. He has not given me the laptop.
Oh my God. Oh. When will this torture end? When will the torture end? Fuck. God damn it, man. Fuck.
My mom knows I gave Bumpy money to buy me a laptop because he has tech connections. So I wanted one genuine laptop, and I was sure that someone might knock me off or something. So the laptop had not come. My mom knows the laptop did not come. My mom cannot be convinced otherwise, other than Bumpy was just trying to shortcut me. I'm trying to explain to my mom, no, the delivery is just delayed. It'll be here. And my mom is like, no, these things you're saying do not even make sense. They do not add up. But I was not looking at it from my mom's view. I had my own view, and I was just trying to pull my mom into my view. Mm-hmm. So at that point...
Yeah, of course, your shit view. That's what you were looking at it from.
I remember the following day after being told that, say, I've gone home now. From Bumpy's house, I've been told my mom was there. My mom knows. The moment I lashed out like that, left the house and went, she just had this thought that I've gone to Bumpy's house.
Duh.
So I came back home, and she's like, I forbid you from seeing that man again. And I'm like,
yeah,
how do you forbid someone from seeing someone? And I'm like, Mom, I'm old. You can't do that. I've gone to complain and complain and complain. We're not even having a productive conversation because we're all very mad.
Man, all of this could have just been avoided if the dad was in the picture, man. Once again, if her dad was in the picture, you know, a dad would have just looked at this dude, and a dad would have just looked at this guy, Bumpy, and been like, you freaking piece of shit. I know you. I know players like you. To catch a thief, you need to be a thief. A thief can catch a thief. You fight fire with fire. A man can recognize another man and his intentions. Oh, man.
Maybe at each other, and we're all raising our voice. So I'm like, you know what? This is fine. I storm out and I got back to my house. I'm there in my bedsit, and I'm thinking,
man, if this was my daughter, fuck, man. Man, I would freaking be there for her, man. I would support her. I would be like, freaking need to get away from this dude. What do you say? I don't understand if this is supposed to be funny or annoying. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's such a twisted story. It's such a twisted story. And you always feel like, okay, maybe there's like a silver lining or a happy ending.
why would my mom do such a thing? Like, it makes no sense. And in the morning, I texted Bumpy. I was going to work. I just texted him, and I was like, I know now you want nothing to do with me, which is understandable. So I'd want you to pack my clothes and put them. There was an M-Pesa shop that was well known in our area. So I just told him, pack my clothes, shoes, anything, books, anything, or my materials that I might have left there for work or anything, pack them and put them in that M-Pesa shop. He's like, okay. So I asked him, what about my laptop? He's like, you know what? With your laptop, let me even just call the dealers right now and we'll figure it out. So we did figure out the story of the laptop. Got my laptop. And then on the day I was going to get the laptop, Bumpy tells me that he's not mad at me and he doesn't want us to end the relationship. Instead, what we will do is he's going to get a second wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, no. Oh, man. Fuck, man. And he just got the balls to just tell her straight. DJ Emotions on remix. Yeah. Did you just hear what he just said? He just told her straight to her face. By the way, I just want to get a second wife.
Yes. So I asked him, why are we getting a second wife? He's like, because already in my mom's eyes, you're disrespectful, and so is your mom. So according to the mom, that's not a wife she would want the son to have. But since Bumpy does not want to let go of me, I should allow him to have a second wife.
Oh, wait, you're not the second wife?
No. So I'd allow him to have a second wife. So the second wife would be known as the first wife because the second wife is the one who would be introduced to the mom.
I'm so sorry, you lost me, Sophia. So the woman he's with, are we considering, I'm sorry, his baby mama?
Yeah.
Are we considering that the first wife?
No.
Okay.
The baby mama is just considered as the baby mama. So the baby mama is aside. So
Second wife, how? And yet, yet he wasn't married to baby mama. She's still asking him, why are you getting a second wife? she should have just walked away after she heard the word second. Oh, fuck, man. So, look, can you hear what the fuck? It just okay, so wait, hang on a second. The math is not mathing. 1 + 1 is not 2? Wait, so, wait, hang on. So the baby mama will be the first wife, and then she will be the second wife, according to the parents. But according to them and her delusional world, she's the first wife. So Sophia's the first wife according to her, but according to Bumpy's mom, she's the second wife. What? 1 + 1 is equals to 11. Oh man, the math is not mathing. The emotions are all over the place. Man, when you're young, you're so fucking stupid. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that in my 20s, I did not do stupid shit. I was very close. You know, as a guy, when your testosterone is all over the roof, you just want to, someone can just touch you like this. Ding! You're ready to go. Let's go. But hey, I'm so happy I didn't do anything stupid, man. But anyway. Too much delulu.
there's me and the person he wants to bring in. Yeah. I was like, no.
Wait, just explain to me the logic behind the wife thing.
The wife thing was my mom already showed that she was disrespectful. So Bumpy's mom also assumes I'm also disrespectful. So Bumpy needs a wife that he can present to the mom as a new clean slate. And I was not that. So I was supposed to allow Bumpy to have another wife.
And then you come in as a second wife?
I was the first. Now the other one was coming in as the second, but will be considered the first because she's the only one introduced to the mom. So in turn, what would happen is I'd stay with Bumpy, yes. I'd stay with Bumpy in the house, never be introduced to the parents, but we'd do life together as married people. And then the second one who comes in is introduced, the traditional things are done, and she'd also come live with us in the house. Yeah. So I was like, but if you want to be a polygamous man, that's not how it goes. She's like, no.
And she's still there having the conversation with him. Hey, is he the one who's going to marry the wife or his mom? Fuck, yeah.
You wouldn't know how polygamy goes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck does the mom, like, if you want to be with this person, you just say you want to be with this person. Forget your freaking baby mama. Like, at the end of the day, your mom is just going to come and visit you from time to time. Who are you going to spend the rest of your life with? Is it going to be with this woman? Then be with this woman. Why? What the fuck? Like, you're marrying the baby mama just to impress your mom. Basically, that's what it is. To show your mom that you're a good guy or something.
Because you don't have the traditional roots, so you wouldn't understand. And I was like, okay, you know what, makes sense. So I was like,
What makes sense? Nothing makes sense.
you know what, let me think about it. This time we're still keeping tabs. One day he's like, I want you to look for a woman that we can have a threesome with.
Fuck.
So that you'll be...
No. Oh, man. Oh. No, man. Yo, yo, I need to end this stream or something. Like, what the fuck is this shit? I need to go back. Oh, fuck, man. And it's just a Saturday. Okay, let's just go back a little bit here. I think I heard something else. Nah, let's just go back. I think I might have misheard some. I heard something. I don't know. Okay, let's let's breathe in. Let's start again. Let's just go back a little bit here.
So I was like, you know what, let me think about it. This time we're still keeping tabs. One day he's like, I want you to look for a woman that we can have a threesome with so that you'll be able to understand the logic of the second wife and how the sexual part would go, the house rules and the chores. I was like, where?
Okay, Poof, where are you lost? Where are you lost? Because I mean, okay, I kind of understand what the hell she's saying, but it still doesn't make sense in the sense of how do you allow someone to do this to you? Okay, she, in the eyes of Bumpy's mom, is going to be the second wife. But internally, between Bumpy and her, she's the first wife. That's the logic. Okay, that's how I understand it. Am I wrong? That's the logic there. And now he's saying so that she can understand the logic behind what it feels like to be in a polygamous relationship where it's like two wives and a guy. That's what he's suggesting that they do so that she gets used to the whole thing. He has a baby mama, a girlfriend, wife, wants a second wife, and I wonder how many other. No, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. The baby mama is the first wife, and Sophia is going to be the second wife. That's what it is. That's how she's saying it. But according to the parents, when he's going to get married, he's going to present the baby mama as the first wife. Do you get it? So it's still just these two women. It's the baby mama and Sophia. Okay? Yes. He isn't married with the baby mama. Exactly. That's oh man. Fuck. Okay.
Am I supposed to start doing that? And he's like, but I always see you complimenting women. It could be that you're bisexual. And I'm like, women are beautiful people. Have you seen them? They're amazing. He's like, yeah.
Okay, that's one statement she said that's correct, and I agree with it. Let's give her a a hand of a clap. Let's clap for her. What are you saying? Then he wants another Chile for a session. Yes. So check this fucked up logic. He's telling her that he wants to do it with her and another, like not the baby mama. It's not even going to be the baby mama. So that's a third girl into the relationship to try something with. And she's still here. She's still here. Hey, I think maybe this guy has a very huge thing down there, and I think that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Because maybe he looks old, but maybe his bedroom thing is like it's lit. I think that's what it is. That's the only conclusion I can come to. Like, why would you subject yourself to this stupidity? Anyway, let's hear.
You'd only think like that because you're bi. So just maybe try it out on your own and you'll figure it out.
Are you in a relationship with him at this point in time? Where's the baby mama?
Foot
and
long,
how come
foot
she
long.
has this kind of agency over who he's talking to and the timings, and he can't have his phone on? But where is she at?
At that point, she never popped up. She was never an issue. She stopped texting. I don't know. She just, in regards to our relationship, she just vanished.
How did she know what she looked like?
She got my number from his phone because of how I was saved, and she checked the conversations. So I'm sure she just guessed according to how the conversations went. That's how she was able to get me. But at this point...
Had you met face to face?
No.
Okay.
I'd only seen photos of her. So I never know how she looked or anything about her.
Yeah, she's in a relationship with his ding dong. Oh yeah, damn. Yeah, so it's either he's really good in bed or he looks really good. Those are the only two things I can think of. Damn.
So at this point where Bumpy is telling me, per se, to get another woman so that we can have a threesome, she wasn't there anymore. The baby mama wasn't an issue as she was prior. So one day, specifically, Bumpy tells me that I want to take you out, and the role of us going out is for you to find another woman that you're going to be attracted to.
Can I just ask a question? Listen, I have no strong judgment on polygamy or polyamory. Do what you want to do. There are things I feel like maybe are not for me because I don't know how to do them. I don't have the skill set or maybe the emotional bandwidth. So I'm just curious for you. Is this something that was not out of the norm for you? Did you maybe grow up seeing this kind of dynamic or polygamy?
That's what I was saying, Bumpy dick.
And why was it almost like an easy sell? Why were you able to be won over? Like, okay, maybe.
Maybe it's just naturally studied. Who knows? That's why it's called Bumpy.
It's something I'd consider.
It wasn't something I'd ever seen, ever. The way I knew polygamy to run and the way he wanted it was something I had never seen, ever.
Did he come from a polygamous home? Or maybe a religion that leaned towards polygamy?
No. Not at all. He keeps saying he was, but no, not that I saw. But so that happened. And the reason it was easy for me to be sold into it is because every time he kept telling me, you don't want to lose me, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course I wouldn't. Then do the things that I would want or I need to be a happy man. And he'd always go about, if you don't do it, if I'm not getting the woman from you, I'll eventually go out and get the woman for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but if you go get the woman for yourself, that's cheating because it means you have to date them, court them and all that. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so do I get to know about it? Like, no, because you were given the opportunity, but you didn't do it. So I'm like, oh. So I have to choose between getting this woman and just letting him get one. Me being me, I was always on Tinder, looking for women. Like my bio was looking for women for threesomes. That was my bio. And women would flood in my DM.
Fuck.
Interesting.
What? He convinced her to make a Tinder bio where she said she's looking for someone to share her boyfriend with.
Flood my DM.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Real women or like bots? Or?
No, women that would give me their numbers.
You know what? That's kind of, I'm a bit disturbed, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, like go women. That's pretty,
Yeah.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'd always flood
And
my
Tinder,
women.
you said?
Yeah.
Yikes.
So they'd always just see my bio and all send photos and their phone number, photos and phone number. So it was easy. So the moment I first got one, I took just one number from Tinder. The conversation was simple. I didn't even need to sell anything. I was just like, are you available this weekend? Because I'm off.
Man, and then the other women that are just ready for that, like, what? Man.
This weekend, my man is off. Are you available? Can I have a threesome and see how it goes? Everybody was just like, yes. It's the first one I had, and I was like, oh, interesting. So we had the first threesome. My first thought was like, oh, fuck. This is not okay. It doesn't feel okay with me because a threesome, I have to participate. And then there's a point I have to wait as the other woman and Bumpy are intimate. And then she also has to wait as Bumpy and I are intimate. And then Bumpy has to wait as me and the other woman are intimate. And it just didn't sit well. I was shaky. And Bumpy seemed easy about it. He was right into character. And immediately in all the women we had, he would always want to ask, are you okay if you spend...
All the women. So it's not even like... it's not like it was just one woman and then that was like the test scenario. This is like... it just kept going on.
The night, you want to come again? He'd always just want to give them girlfriend roles immediately. Will you cook for us supper? Will you oil my back? Like such things. And the women were just like, yeah, okay, this.
So it happened more than once?
It happened more than once, more than 5 times as well.
And how did this sit with you, like being intimate with another woman?
It wasn't sitting well with me. I'd complain and complain and complain. And each time I complained, Bumpy would be like, you're just not being a source of peace. Honestly, you're not being a source of peace. And I'm like, what does a source of peace mean? I'm just complaining about the things you want us to do and they're not sitting well with me. It doesn't feel like this is something I want to do the next one. It got to a point where he'd take my phone, enter Tinder himself and talk to the women and plan those things. So I'd get home, say from work, I've gone back to my pet sitter and
Yeah, exactly. What are you complaining? Just freaking walk out. Like, there were so many opportunities. I mean, he even blocked her and told her, hey, this is over, man. I mean, that would have been a perfect time to just move on. But
he says, are you coming over today? I'm like, yeah, I'm even just gotten home. I want to carry the things over and come. And the woman would be there. And I was like, wow, okay. So after a few times of that happening, one day I just sat down and told him, this can go on. So I want to leave. I want to leave this relationship because it seems like I'm bending and bending to do the things you want. And at that time, we're having so many threesomes that I cannot keep count, one. Also, he's still cheating.
shit. And I don't know if they're even using protection. I mean, that's also another source of diseases and all that other stuff. But that's another can of worms, man. Man, this is so fucked up, man.
With other women. So I'm asking him, it seems like you're a man
How many times you listen to have the same conversation again and
who
again?
does not get satisfied. There's no way you'll have threesomes every other weekend and still cheat. So he cheat, and I'm just like, I can't keep up.
Damn. Okay. I have to say one thing here. Huh? I think for men, it's kind of a bit different. Like, men in their 20s, they don't get access to, doing it. And then when they hit their 30s, suddenly things just change for them. But it's only for the men that are really good looking. I guess men who are good looking, they can get away with anything. They're like, all the women are attracted to me. I can just pick who I want to just have some fun with and then just destroy their lives forever. And then that woman thinks that all men are shit because of that one experience. Threesome, Sophia, and cheating. Yeah, it's like, it's not even enough, man. Yeah, this is getting sad. Yeah.
So on the day that happened, 2 weeks later, he tells me, how about we move in together? Instead of me doing shopping in your house or you paying rent and all that, let's just have this house. And his house, rent was not paid because it was their house. So I was like, are you sure? And it came at a point where I wanted to move from my bedsitter to a 1-bedroom. So it's like, instead of looking for the 1-bedroom, the day you said you were moving, because I had found a house and everything, so I was about to go pay. He's like, no, instead, I found a lorry, you'll move your things to my house. I was like, oh, okay. And then at this point, my mom has stopped being bitter with Bumpy. Now they're being friends to a point where we can go out together, hang out together. So I was okay with it. I moved in. On moving in, I got pregnant, I think two months later. So I found out I'm pregnant and I've not...
Fuck. Man, when is the happy part of this story? Like, where is the part where it just gets a bit bad? Like, at least, like she takes some revenge or like she does something and just says, I'm done. And then he's like, now, no. But, god damn.
even told my mom I moved
Now they've moved. Fuck.
in with Bumpy. So I'm just like, okay, so which one do I tell her first? So I first told her,
Which one do I tell her first? Maybe none? Fuck.
oh, mom, I moved in with Bumpy. And my mom is like, that's okay, but we need to do the traditional step. At least just one before anything happens. And I'm like, why? just in case. And I don't know, she always kept saying, just in case something happens, you need the men. Like, wale wa baba wa boma, you see? And I was like, okay.
And by traditional steps, she means the conversations that happen.
There's one thing that we can learn from this story. I think for men, now I'm talking to men. It's like, is it that women love to be treated like shit and then it just attracts them to the guy even more? Because that's the take home I'm getting from this story. It's like, we see other men treating her like shit and she still goes back to him. So maybe we should just do the same if we want to have a good relationship.
Men to
Yes.
finalize
Yes.
a marriage in the traditional way. Okay, so the conversation of marriage between the two of you and your mom was already something that was in the air.
Yeah, it was always there. It's something she always asked. What's the end goal? What are you planning? When is it happening? And I'm like, I know I'm planning this. This is what we talk about with Bumpy. But now the when is on his end. So when I moved in, she just was easy about it, but insisted with the traditional men coming home. By the time I told her that, another 2 weeks later, I told her, Mom, I'm pregnant. And even her worry went through the window. She was now excited to be a new grandma. And now considering she raised me, I was an only child. So she was really, really excited. So she was really happy and now stopped worrying. It seemed like now once I've told her I'm pregnant, the planning of the traditional steps took a slow pace.
No, I would have assumed that.
Yeah.
It would have gone faster.
It would have gone faster.
So it went for a slow pace for a while, just until her excitement ended. And then from there it was now, Baba Bumpy needs to come. We need to decide, all that. So in a span of a month, it happened in October. The men came, the dad came, the parents and all that. They got to meet my family and that happened. And that was beautiful. We went back home now to our marital home and things went well.
Was his mom more
Yes.
warm towards you?
Yeah, she had changed. She had become very fond of me to a point where she would call me, send me for errands in town. We became very good friends eventually once she got to understand my side of the story and my mom's side as well. Yeah. And then as pregnancy grew, my pregnancy was the most beautiful. I had no morning sickness, no nothing, no cravings, no nothing else.
Yeah, because you're young.
Just
so,
a normal
yeah.
person with a growing belly.
Anyway.
And my tummy did not show until it was 7 months. So all through, I'd work, I'd do my jobs very well, I'd do everything. And then there was this one point I remember we were being intimate with Bumpy. And I remember telling him, I'm feeling very uncomfortable, very out of breath. And intimacy just doesn't sound exciting as it used to be. This man looked at me with a straight face and told me, if that's the case, how about unitafutie msichana nitakuwa nalala na yeye while you are in your last months of pregnancy. What he said is at this specific moment, what I told him, his reply was, how about you find me a woman that I can be intimate with in your last months of pregnancy since you're not able to be intimate with me as your husband because I have needs. I looked at him baffled. I'm like, wow. And he laughed and brushed it off and he left. The thing is still ringing.
Why are
in my
you
mind.
shocked, sis?
Why would he say that? Since he brushed it off, I thought he just said it. So 2 days later, I addressed it and he's just like, no, it was just a thought. It would be nice and all. In the process, there's a friend, I don't know if I should call her a friend, but there's this person that was really into Bumpy and really into me. And Bumpy was also really into this lady, but I wasn't. You see? And this specific lady, we had lost touch, but she wanted to come back into this dynamic. So she was looking for me in social media, looking for Bumpy on his pages and all. So she found me and she's like, oh, I want to visit you guys. Did the relationship move to the next level? I'm like, yeah, we got married and I'm pregnant and I'm almost due. She's like, oh, perfect. Let me come and help.
Was she one of the ladies that you'd previously had a threesome with?
Yes. So at this point, and I explained to her, now we're not doing the threesomes, so are you still okay visiting? She's like, yeah, I just want to visit, see how you're doing. So,
And then she invites her home. Like, it's just going to be like an innocent thing. She'll just come home to actually take care of her.
because I still consider you as a friend. I'm like, cool. So she came. She visited. I'm there in the kitchen, because when she came, I was already in the kitchen. So I've gone back to do what I was doing in the kitchen, and I've left her with Bumpy. I come back, and they're all over each other. And I'm like, what am I seeing? And they do not even seem startled or baffled by the fact that I've walked in. They just continue with whatever they were doing. And I'm just like,
Yeah, this dude has never been decent with Sophia. Like, not even once has he ever. And they're this deep into the relationship now.
okay. Then I went back to the kitchen, finished what I was doing. At this point, I'm crying. Bumpy came to the kitchen. He's holding me, and I'm like, don't touch me. Just don't touch me. Thank you. And he's like, why? I'm like, because, once we got pregnant, we had a rule. The pregnancy was like our clean slate. The baby is not here, and you've already gone back into things we made a rule a few months ago. How are you going to manage with a whole child in our lives for the next 25 years?
What was the rule?
The rule was no more women and no more threesomes. We are going to go back into a normal family dynamic, no more sexual experiments. That was the rule. And that rule was one that he gave, actually. Yeah. So I was very surprised that he'd go back on something he said.
He said he's not going to be doing that threesome stuff. Why would he adhere to that goal?
Yeah, I know. But he starts to justify. He's like, but she came, her tits are showing, she looks all sexy. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay. I served myself my food and went to the bedroom, watched my movie, and just operated as though they were not there. He came and he's like, it's okay, I've told her to go home. And I'm like, You seemed excited. She was here. So just stay. I'll be fine. I locked the room. He thought I was joking. I locked the room. And he wasn't able to enter the room and access me. The morning I woke up, went to work. I think it was my last day of work because my due date was really approaching. But this girl was still there. She was asleep on one end of the couch and Bumpy was on the other end of the couch.
What do you mean there? When you woke up the next day to go to work?
She was still in the house.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
After being told that,
There's big words that she's using instead of a grammar check. Have a brain check.
she left. So I was very surprised. I was like, oh, interesting.
Damn.
So she sees me, Bumpy sees me, he's awake, and he's like, you locked the room. And I'm like, yes, I know. The girl is like, I'm sorry. Bumpy told me about the argument you have, and I'm sorry I went against it. I'm like, you're sorry because Bumpy told you. I also told you before you walked into the house. So you respect nothing about me or about Bumpy.
Well, what did you think would happen if you had her over? Did you genuinely think that she was just coming to see you guys, see how you guys are doing?
Genuinely, yes. I just expected her to be a friend.
She genuinely thought that's all the friend was coming over to do, to check up on Sophia and Bumpy. What the
and to take what I told her as that. So I genuinely expected her to come, see me pregnant, I don't know, help around the house and leave. But that's not what happened. But later on, I came to know that Bumpy actually found her on social media and told her that I was okay with the threesomes. So she came knowing what Bumpy told her. And what I told her about we're no longer doing threesomes, the moment she told Bumpy about it, Bumpy was like, we've just spoken about it and we are go. So she came knowing that our threesomes and that whole dynamic is a go. So she just came and picked it up, from where she left.
Fuck. So, oh man. Okay, anyway.
But from my reaction, she now knew something was off and she was willing to now leave us alone. And I was like, since Bumpy is the one who's giving us go-aheads around this house and I have nothing to do with it, let him decide. As for me, I have to go to work. I went to work. I moved around my day very well. I came back home and she was still home.
Yeah, it's honestly stupidity and not, it's not even sad. Yeah, it's stupidity at this point. He's been lying and cheating on her time and time again. Everything is so clear and right to her face. Exactly. I want to get into the podcast at this point. You wanna give some points? Oh man, I haven't set up the WhatsApp thing, so I'm sorry. But just text your points in. I'll read them out.
And me in my hormones, I just wanted to be in my house with my husband. I just entered the house and asked, why are you here? Is what I asked her. Why are you still in my house? Oh. Bumpy's like, why are you talking to her like that? I'm like, because she's in my house. She is a guest. She needs to leave. She's like, oh, Bumpy told me to stay. I'm like, I'm the woman of this house and I've told you to leave. I took her clothes, threw them across the living room and I'm like, leave right now. Maki was around 7. And she's like, I live very fine. I'm like, I don't care. Just leave my house now. Bumpy is like, no, it's okay. Let her spend. And then she can leave in the morning. I'm like, you know what? That's what you want. I will go to my mom's house and you will stay here with your guest. And in the morning when she goes, you will tell me, your wife, if you want me back into our house. And he slapped me. And I and the lady all looked at him like he was crazy. This lady just took her clothes and left. And I was like, oh, now you're slapping me in front of another woman because I'm asking the woman who's not your wife to leave. And he's like, yeah, because you and this pregnancy, all you've been doing are things that...
What? Yo, it just got physical now.
You want, and I'm like what, for example? Because the only thing I've told you right now is I want the woman gone, but you seem not to want her gone. He slapped me again. And I'm like, okay, I think Bumpy, something's wrong with you in your head. Because you can clearly see that I have your child in my tummy, right? And I feel like he was in a trance of anger. The moment I said, I'm having your child in my tummy, I'd see him like awaken from something. Like he'd shake his head like he's just waking up from a trance. And I asked him, are you okay? He's like, I'm so sorry. At this moment, I don't even want him to touch me. I went to the bathroom. I showered. He wants to get into the bathroom with me. And I'm like, don't try me. I go.
Just right after the slap, he's like, let me just move into the bathroom with her. Let's take a shower and smooth things up. Huh?
oil my belly. I do what I always do. Then I use the laptop. On using the laptop, I open WhatsApp. Like there was an icon there. So I'm just opening it just to check if it was my WhatsApp, because I was also using the laptop prior. And to my surprise, it was his WhatsApp. Still flirting with his baby mama, still flirting with another woman, and people he used to train when he was employed. And there were a lot of nudes, a lot of thank you for coffee. It was nice spending the night with you. And once I looked at those chats, I was just like, this is the night he told me he had a boys thing. This is the night he said he had Bible study. This is the night he said he had a business trip. All that. All could not see them in conversations. I didn't talk about it because I also have very bad anger, and I tend to talk very, very bad when I'm angry. So I was just like, you know what, let me sleep, and I'll talk about it in the morning. In the morning, it's calm. He said, I'm going to the gym, I'll be back. He comes back and I want to address it. And I couldn't keep cool, and I'm like, you are crazy. You're about to have a child. You're still talking to baby mama. And this other woman that
Damn. Bible study with study partner. Oh man, this is so fucked up, man. We can send him to what? To the corn hub.
we handled a few days ago. Why are they still recurring? Why is this woman recurring? Why is your baby mama still somebody you're flirting with? What's going on? You're married. You're getting a child. So what's going on? It's like, no, since you didn't want me to be intimate with other women, I just thought maybe talking to them is not harm. And I'm like, since when? Show me where. I'm like, no, this is not something I'll tolerate. I don't want this. Give me your phone. I want to address everybody. I'll send them messages. He threw that phone across and it hit me straight on my forehead. And I was like, oh, so you're still hitting me and hitting now me with things interesting. I was like, I laughed and I told him, you know what? Continue with your women. Actually, it seems you're happier when there are very many women. That's where you prosper. And he was like, okay. He seems he wants to talk about it. I did not want to talk about it at that specific time. So what he did instead, he pulled me by my locks, dragged me from the bedroom, across the floor, till the sitting room, and put me on the chair. And I'm like, I said I don't want to talk about it now. You also tell me when you don't want to talk about things, I should understand. Here you are pulling my hair. For what reason? I won't talk about it right now. I value my marriage. I'm like, doesn't seem like that on text, but I don't want to talk about it right now. He hits me. He strangles me at this point, and I can tell him, Bumpy, I cannot breathe. So I managed to kick his chest with my foot, and he fell. And I'm trying to catch my breath, and I'm like, are you trying to kill me? Because you're strangling me. I'm pregnant. I'm not understanding. What war specifically do you think you're going to be winning? I'm pregnant. You're going to win anything you do right now. And again.
Yeah. While she was pregnant. Pregnante. God damn.
I can see him getting out of a trance, like he's shaking his head. He's scared. And he starts immediately, sorry. And I'm like, I don't want your sorry. This is something you're doing now. And for the next 2 weeks, he's the most sweetest, most amazing human being I've ever met. He felt like the first person I met in the beginning, years back. And I was happy, and he'd always validate me. It'll never happen again. It'll never happen again. Never.
What the fuck? I don't know. Okay, I kind of feel like this whole drama, I think she's addicted to the drama. I think that's what it is. So maybe she's still there. I think she likes the drama. It's not even about maybe he doesn't look that good. Maybe it's just the way he spices things up and causes all this mayhem and drama. And, you know, some women, they just love drama. So maybe she's just into it. Maybe that's her kink.
Happen again. And I was content.
And being disrespected.
So this one specific time, we were sharing the laptop. I still go into the laptop. I'm writing a document because my assistant is at work. So I'm supposed to write documents for my clients for us to get paid. So I'm on the laptop. I'm now trying to connect my WhatsApp with WhatsApp web on the laptop. And I see his WhatsApps. And I can notice that there's a woman he's been clearly talking to that is clearly pregnant with his child. And I was trying to collect my jaw from the floor. I was angry. I immediately started crying, and I'm
Did you hear what she just said? Miriam, what are you saying? It has always been happening when she was 20 and she's still there. Is she waiting for death or what? Yeah. Now she just saw another chat where the chick has another kid with Bumpy.
Like, why? I had very few weeks to delivery and it's not making sense. He comes home and I'm
Nothing's
asking
been
him, "What's the
making
meaning of
sense."
all this?" I need an explanation. He opens his mouth and tells me that woman was depressed and I was just acting as a father figure to her and the child she's about to have. And I'm like, wow, is that why she's asking for your names to put in the birth certificate? Is that why she's saying our child? Is that why she's asking when will you take your dad to her house? Is that the reason? He gets mad and punches. There's a mirror we had on the wall. He punches that mirror. He starts bleeding. At this point, I think I was so used to it. I just look at him and I'm like, another dent. Let's see who'll pick it up this time. He had a bike, so he'd take the car keys and leave. And for once, I didn't stop him. I actually gave him his...
Yeah, father figure. Man, these weak ass men. Let's just give some whips to these weak ass men. Fucking, what the fuck, man? What kind of an example? What? God damn. Now these are 3 kids. There's 3 kids. Am I counting that correctly? That's 3 kids he's brought into this world that he wouldn't even be a father figure to. Fuck this guy.
other riding gear. I'm like, here, please go.
Yeah, as much as I also feel like Sophia is a dumbass, but God, this is the guy, the root of all problems here.
Because this is what you always do.
Because at the end of the day, she's actually being submissive and she's just listening to him. But if the leader himself is an idiot, you're fucked.
He left. I did not pick up any glass. I left them there. So when he came back, he found them there. He cleaned them up and he came to the bedroom. He's like, you didn't even call me to get to know where I was. And I'm like, what for? Why would I? Why would you bang the mirror, break the mirror, and then come? You've left at a point where you know you have done something wrong and then you want me to now be concerned. It's like, if I leave, sometimes I might get out and get hit. And for a brief moment, I replied. I told him it would be better rather than having you around this house with all that you're taking me through. I had approximately 3 weeks to deliver. But according to when you go to the doctor and they give you that due date and all, it was actually supposed to be a month and a half, but I gave birth 3 weeks later. So in the 3 weeks, he was good. He was very good. And now what happened is, you remember the woman who was in the house that I came home to that was still in the house, and I asked why hasn't she left yet? One day she came home. Apparently, Bumpy talked to her because Bumpy could not get through to me. I had gotten to a point where I had a wall. I didn't care about him, what he did, what he wanted. I'd just follow what he said. He's like, we're going to the market. I'm like, okay, let's go. We're doing this. Okay, let's go. I was there. I never questioned. I never did anything. So Bumpy was worried. So Bumpy called this lady, and this lady started talking to me. So instead of calling me on phone, what she did is she came home. Bumpy was not home, but she was. So I asked her, why are you home? She's like, Bumpy told me you're not okay. So I'm here to figure out why. I'm like, one, you're the reason, number one, among the reasons you're not okay. Came to our house. You are touchy with my husband after I specifically told you something. You didn't have the courtesy to come ask me if that's how it is. You just took Bumpy's side and went with it. And she says, in my defense, Bumpy is the man. I was like, okay. And she's like, but that was then. Now I'm here for you. I want to listen to you. And I told her, actually,
I'm sorry, I'm in a bit of a, what was informing this structure? There was something behind it, like, this is the man, you have to follow this. If you're saying you did not grow up seeing this.
The structure was, and this is something Bumpy threw around in any situation, was you're raised by a single mom. You wouldn't know how households run. You wouldn't know anything about submission. And since honestly and genuinely, I did not know, because I was raised by a single mom. I did not see her submit to somebody, especially at an older age, to see how submission goes. I'd believe it. And he would always say, but I know submission, I know the role of a man, because he has both parents. So I was just like, okay, that makes sense.
I really do wonder about that, because I don't want to come off. I know there's people who actually live by that, where the man says the final word.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if it's right. I don't think you should always be fighting with your partner if that's the agreement you've come into. But at what point does the woman have a little bit of a say?
At that time,
But
I did not know.
okay, wait, hang on, man. I kind of feel like if you can prove yourself to be a good leader, and you've shown like success and achievement in your life as a man, then I kind of feel like a woman should submit to that. But from what she's described this guy as, he doesn't look like he's a very successful guy. He doesn't look like he's wealthy or like doing really well. Like, what the fuck, man? They've taken this to a whole nother level, yeah.
When the woman had, they say, because according to him, who
the submission definition doesn't work here. Yeah, absolutely agree with that, man.
knows how submission works and how a household runs, he always said that the man has the final say. And since I always wanted to show that I'm a submissive woman and a woman who...
Yeah, but you're submitting to the wrong person, man. Fuck. Like, I'd really give her like a round of applause for being submissive. That's amazing. Like, she's just been listening and taking shit. In a way, it's kind of like, it's good, but like to the wrong person, man. To the wrong person.
Wants to be an added piece of value to him. I'd stick with that.
Did you not have any friends to talk to about what was going on in your marriage, in your family life, in your relationship?
I did. Funny thing is, yes, I did.
If you talk to friends and no one talked you out of this, you don't have friends.
I never said those dark parts. Why? Because Bumpy and Bumpy's mom always told me that marriage...
Yeah, exactly. How does the man have the final say in the house and you're a zombie in that house? Exactly. If you're being disrespected in front of other people in your own house, then that is not a leader. That is just someone who is manipulative. You need to freaking run. But you know what the fucked up thing is? Like, everyone is going to listen to this and feel like, okay, every man is like this. And we need to now freaking be our own independent shit. Like, this is one dude. And I'm pretty sure all the women are flocking to this guy because probably he's good looking or he's got really good, bedroom game. So, and because all these women have had an experience with this one freaking douchebag of a loser, he has fucked it up for all the rest of us guys. That's what I think has happened. Is currently happening. We need to have a live regarding this topic, Speedy G. We need to clarify the roles here. Submission with respect, my friend. Submission with respect makes sense. Yeah, but I absolutely agree. We'll have another live session about this. And I think you can join the call and you give me your 2 cents on this whole thing.
Stuff I never told to anybody else other than the household you're in. So according to Bumpy's mom, it was, if you're not able to solve it with Bumpy, come tell me. So I tell her, yes. So I've told Bumpy's mom. Bumpy's mom is like, oh, you're the one with the temper. Reduce your temper. So I'd always fit into that. So if I know I have a temper, instead of speaking when angry, I'd speak the following day. If I always want to nudge something, instead of always asking, I'd just wait until it's an appropriate time and ask Bumpy.
I think those are admirable traits, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you should not speak when you're in a heightened state, and it's always good to kind of take some time before you retort. But there's some dysfunction there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's what I always did. So every time he'd hit me, I'd go back and maybe say, I'm the reason. Why? Bumpy says I'm the reason. Bumpy's mom.
I don't agree with the whole hitting part, man. I do not agree with that, man. No matter how, like, you're supposed to listen to your husband, like, he puts a finger on you, like, just use your words, man. Both of you should just use your words.
Mom also says I added.
Well, hitting in the bedroom, that's a different thing. But this is like actual fighting, man. It's even embarrassing to start sharing it with friends. That's actually very true. Yeah, but then, I don't know, man. What's the whole point of having close friends if you can't share this personal shit with? Then you don't really have friends then, isn't it? I don't know, man. I kind of feel like you need to have like a small circle of people that you can share something with, so that at least they can give you their 2 cents of the situation, how they feel about it, so that you can kind of like come to a good decision on your own.
To the reason why Bumpy was hitting me. So I'd always try and find out why. And I came to understand when Bumpy said you're not being peaceful, it's because I found out he was cheating. In his head, I was not supposed to find out, but I found out. So finding out, questioning him, wanting answers, wanting accountability and all that, to him was not being peaceful. But that I found out later on. So this lady has come home, and believe it or not, Jules, I specifically told this lady, Bumpy says he wants somebody to be intimate with at this moment that I'm not. Let it be. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. You're always here. You're always talking to Bumpy. Why not?
This is what you told her?
Yeah. Because now for me, what I was thinking is if I gave Bumpy one specific consent person, the rest of the women would go. And I'd be able to control this woman. So in one way or another, I had the upper hand. I did, in fact, did not have an upper hand. Mm-hmm. So the baby came. She's been there 3 weeks. The baby has come.
What do you mean, living there?
She's been with us every single day.
Does she live there? What do you mean by with you?
She's there Monday to Friday.
And the baby mama's not even in the picture now. This is some other random girl that they picked off Tinder that's living with her and the wife. Living with her and Bumpy.
Friday or Monday to Wednesday.
Does she sleep in your
Yes.
matrimonial home?
Yes.
In whose bedroom?
She wouldn't sleep in the bedroom. Bumpy and I would sleep in the bedroom. She'd sleep in the mattress in the sitting room.
Okay.
She was there always. She would clean the house. She'd make me breakfast. She'd get me ready if I needed to go for clinic, to make my nails. She was there.
You know why I was asking what was informing this? Because even as you're talking right now, it doesn't sound bad, but it's not something that you had agreed to.
Yes.
You're kind of doing this because your hands are tied. Because I know there are situations where, co-wives take care of each other.
Yes.
And it's something everyone is privy to. I know there are challenges there.
Yes.
Every side, everything. Monogamy has a flip side. Polyamory has a flip side.
Yeah.
Polyandry
Yeah.
has a flip side. Like every side has a but.
Yeah.
This but. So it's almost like, was Bumpy like, listen, I'm polyamorous, and she's gonna come help us. Like even when she's cooking, you're not saying, why are you cooking? You're only supposed to like sexually meet my husband's needs. What are you still doing here? Do you understand my question?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand what is this I'm listening to.
At this time, if she's cooking, I'm too pregnant to even stand on my feet. So I didn't mind. I didn't think about it. And then the funny thing is, she was there to satisfy Bumpy's sexual needs, but they were never, ever sexual in the 3 weeks that she was there until my delivery. Not a single day, because I was in the house all through, because I've taken maternity leave. So I'm there, I'm going nowhere. I'm swollen, I'm there. She was never intimate with him. But the thing is, she complained. She complained to me. She's like, why is Bumpy, even if I try, he'd always turn me down? And I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And it's not my place to talk to him. But I'd ask, do you want me to talk to him? And she's like, yeah. So I go back with the complaint I've been given by this woman to Bumpy. And Bumpy's like, no, I don't think I'm ready. But once I am, I know she's there. So I'm like, okay. So I asked Bumpy, you said you'd want someone. The someone is here. And you seem comfortable having her around. What do you want? She's like, no, since you're very much not able to do everything around the house, how about right now she just helps around? And I went back to this woman and told her exactly what Bumpy told me. I asked her, is that something you're okay with? And she's like, yeah. So that's the dynamic. That's what we had. So she'd come, go home to her house as she pleases. And she'd stay over as long as she pleases. And even on the day that I went...
Yeah, fuck, man. He's got two chicks in the house. He's probably got someone else outside now that he's going and doing all the gymnastics with, so that by the time he comes home, he's just like, I'm done, man. I don't want to do anything else now. Fuck.
To hospital, now to deliver.
The only question I have is, where the hell does this guy have all this time to do all of this stuff, man? I wish I had that kind of time, man. I wish I had the time to do this stuff, man. Oh, god damn it.
She also was there. She took me to hospital together with Bumpy. And at that moment, of course, I'm not thinking about what they're doing at that point. I'm now here. It's me and my baby. My one role is to get this baby out of me safely and be also okay, you see. And that's what I did. Got into hospital, gave birth very well. My baby, healthy. And on the day, I even called my mom, told my mom, your granddaughter is here. I also tried to get a hold of Bumpy, but since they had left hospital very late, I guessed he was asleep. So I called Bumpy and I couldn't get him. So I called this lady. I'm like, tell Bumpy his daughter is here. And since I was tired, I just hung up and went to sleep.
He's not even
they
there.
were also the first ones to come see the baby
Like, he's not even there for the birth of the kid. What the fuck?
together. And I thought nothing about it now, because even after leaving hospital, my role was ensure you have enough breast milk, ensure you're eating enough, you're taking enough fluids. I didn't have time to think outside of that. So one day, my healing after pregnancy, after giving birth, was very, very fast. I had no tears, no nothing major. So one day, I'm asking Bumpy, we've gone for our check, the 6-week check. I'm good. So I ask Bumpy on our way back. When I was starting action again, it's like, the doctor has just released you. Just give it time, give it time. I also feel like you're very delicate. So let me understand you a little bit. And I was like, okay, makes sense. This whole time, this other lady is also still complaining they're not intimate. It's been now almost a month and a half. She's been home, no intimacy. And Bumpy made her vow her faithfulness to Bumpy.
This is so bizarre.
So this lady cannot get sex anywhere else except from Bumpy. And Bumpy is not giving her sex. So she's wondering, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? And she didn't mind because she'd help around the child with my daughter. I never had to move. If my daughter cried and she was in the crib, she'd wake up, give me the child. My thermos was filled with uji, water, food, everything.
Was Bumpy and you catering to her financial needs as well?
No.
Did she have a job?
Yes. She worked online. So she'd
What
work
the
there.
fuck?
Finish work. All that.
So
she
then-
did everything in our household.
What the hell-
Especially after
what
my
the hell
daughter
is she
came.
doing in the
She did
house
everything.
then?
Was she also around your age? Or older?
She
Or more
was-
towards Bumpy's age?
No, a bit older than me, 2-3 years older than I am. So I never, at that point, as a new mom, I was like, she's helpful because otherwise, I'm sure at some point I'd have to wake up in case Bumpy has gone to the gym or the likes. So I didn't mind and I didn't think anything of it. So I just enjoyed that. But now the thing is, on days that I told Bumpy my friends, now my circle was coming over to our house to visit the baby, Bumpy would ask this lady to leave. So she'd leave. My best friend would stay over the whole week, help around and all. And then after immediately my friend and my best friend leave, she's back. And back into the routine, back into doing whatever she was doing. So one day I asked Bumpy, okay, the baby is here. This lady is still here. You don't want to be intimate with me. You also don't want to be intimate with this lady. What's your deal? Bumpy's like, you know what? I actually, for a second, want us to start on a clean slate. And I'm like, what's your clean slate looking like? He's like, my clean slate looks like I want her to go. And I want this household to just have you, me, and my daughter. And I was happy. I'm like, finally, something that I'm okay with, comfortable with, something that is not me fixed in a specific cage. And that happened. But before Bumpy would tell this lady of, like, ask her to leave, because you just can't wake up and tell her, get up and leave. He said he'll handle it. So before that happened, I've been told we're starting on a clean slate. So it's this one specific
The so-called clean slate.
week, Saturday, we've said it's going to be movie night. But I feel very tired, very sleepy. So I say I'll go to bed early. Sunday morning, I'm woken up by my daughter screaming. And I'm like, wow. I'm usually woken up by, if my daughter screams, one of them is Bumpy or the lady is waking me up to give me my daughter to breastfeed. None of that happened. And I'm like, maybe they're just watching a movie because it's Sunday morning. I go to the washroom. I go take water. I make some tea. And I'm like, hey, all these commotions, these people can't hear me. But I can hear the movie. It's like loud. So I go back, I breastfeed my daughter, and I change her and I put her down. So I go to the sitting room and I'm like, why can't you people hear me? Why haven't you had your daughter crying? I open the door and it's this specific man that told me he wants everything in a clean slate, having sex with this woman on the mattress that's down there. I just walk in awe, look at him, and I'm like, Bumpy, interesting. This is a clean slate. I'm like,
I like the way she just says, interesting. And then that just moves on and says, okay, fine. We'll just do what you want to do.
wants to know. Close the door and go back, hold my daughter. I am crying, I'm angry, and I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. He came back a few minutes later and I asked him, what the hell was that? What's going on? You were supposed to be asking her to leave, not be deep inside her. What's going on? And this straight face, this man tells me, I was thinking with my lower head. I'm sorry. I was like, okay, interesting. I did not talk about it again, but I did not let that man touch me ever again. My sexual switch just went all off. The lights were out. I did not want him to touch me. I did not want him to sleep next to me. It got to a point I didn't want him to even hold our daughter. And I'd tell him, I feel like you're just a dirty man walking, that nothing you even pronounce with your mouth is actually what you want.
Man, this is so sad. This is so fucked up. Like, it took you all this time to realize this.
And I'd be very specific. You said you want to start on a clean slate. Your clean slate doesn't look clean. That's on you. And that lady left. After a while, he noticed that I actually don't want to be intimate with him. But one specific day, I was having wine because the doctor said I can have some. I was excited. 2 glasses in, we got intimate. And I woke up and I immediately just felt a layer of disgust on me. And I just knew this is not something I wanted. I didn't talk about it. I just moved on. And I was like, let's just find it in us to forgive him and move on as well. And immediately after that, a week later, Bumpy was back to talking to his women, including the woman who just left the house. He's talking to her about he's miserable being with me. He wishes that she was the wife because she seems more understanding. How I don't want even to be intimate with him and it's bothering him. How I'm nagging him and all. He had a lot of complaints. So I read them and every switch now in me started going off one by one. I was like, okay, emotionally disconnected, physically disconnected, anything. I was just going disconnected. So one day he wanted to be intimate with me and I told him I don't. He got very, very mad. He pinned me on the wall. His hand is on my neck and he got intimate with me with like in that specific position.
Oh my God.
I just left, went showered and just moved on.
You mean he raped you?
Yeah, that's the word, right? And I was just like, okay. Next time he asked politely, can we be intimate? I'm like, no. Like I honestly and genuinely don't want it. And I can see his frustration. He's like, now what do you want me to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like now at this point, my anger and my calmness is, I just can't. I'm an.
Yo, this is getting into some dark territories, man. And I need a break. So we'll have to do this like a second segment. Yeah. What the fuck? And yeah, I also need a break, man. So, man, how long have I been streaming for? Fuck. That's 2 hours. All right, let's do this. We're going to pause this over here. This is 1 hour 22 on the timeline on this thingy. So we'll carry on from here on the next live session and finish this story because this is just getting really... I feel like it's going to take a really bad turn from here. So let's do this. Let's take a break. And then we can do another session some other time, man. But yeah, this was some crazy shit, man. This story is so fucked up, man. Anyway, thank you so much for those of you that joined. This has been an amazing time. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah. Just end this, man, right now. Fuck.